now I'm going to kind of switch to a new section of the presentation. Feel free to kind of shake out your body. It's a whole different section. If you need to stand up and move around, that is fine. Right now, I'm going to talk to you about preparing for the test on test day and things that you can do. So one of the things that I would say is I remember once taking a test, and I took the train, but I missed my stop, and I had not taken the train there before, so I didn't know where I needed to get off. And so that totally flustered me. I was really only 10 minutes late for the test, and they let me into the test. But that process totally flustered me. And later, when I took the test at a different time, I was able to gain 100 points. And I think that was just due to the stress of being late. So think about, learn from my mistakes and think about ways to make test day as comfortable and as easy as possible. So one of the things I would say is a couple days before the test, go to the Prometric Test Center at the time of day when you're going to be going to the test center so that you know what traffic's like, you know what your path is like to get there, and you're totally prepared for what door you need to go into. And you could even go in and kind of just walk into the test center and say, I'm just kind of checking it out, tell the lady who's working there or gentlemen, as the case may be, and just kind of look around, figure out where you're going to be taking your breaks, figure out where the bathrooms are, just kind of get the lay of the land. Where are you going to park? Think about what you're going to bring in your bag. Make sure you have the kind of ID that they want you to have that has the names exactly matching your registration for the test. Make sure that you have snacks that you're going to enjoy. Make sure you're wearing clothes that's comfortable. There are lots of things you can do in preparation for the test that are going to make you comfortable, and then you're going to be able to perform your best. When you're sitting there waiting for this test to begin, try not to cram the night before. Relax as much as possible after noon the day before the test, because you're going to want that rest. You're going to want to be fully rested when you start the test because it lasts all day. And you're going to be very strategic about answering questions when you're tired. You're going to want to take breaks at certain times, and you're going to want to think about your strategy. When you're going through the test, you might hit one item that is particularly hard. When that happens, just use your scrap paper to make note of it and come back to it. Don't spend a lot of time on any one question. And the students who have done best on step one, they have a little timer that they keep track of the time with, and they only give items a certain amount of time. And think about that for how you strategize getting through that test. And then we're going to talk a little bit about techniques you can use to breathe deeply so that when you're stressed out, the stress just leaves you. So, there may be something that really makes you calm in your life. It may be a certain kind of tea. It might be a certain kind of smell. It may be a prayer. It may be a religious item. It may be a picture of a kitten. There's lots of things that you have in your life that help you to deal with stress. You could create a little folder and keep that in your locker at the test center, and maybe look through that, read a prayer that's comforting to you, or smell something, a perfume or something that makes you feel calm, like lavender or rose. Those things, having snacks that are calming, those are all things you can incorporate into your test day to make things calmer. And then I have a bunch of breathing exercises, and I recommend you find one that fits for you and use that when things get stressful. Now, some people prefer to meditate, some people prefer to do a special grounding exercise. Some people prefer to do a little prayer. It's all up to you what you find helps you with the stress. But I have a couple of examples here, and you might find one that fits for you. Okay. There are a lot of different techniques you can use for meditation, and that I'm going to give you a link to the handout that you can explore them. But I want to focus on one that's called the Eye of the Hurricane meditation, and I find it particularly helpful. So I'm going to go ahead and read this to you. I hope you'll just take a moment and make sure you're comfortable. Make sure you're sitting in a way that, supports your body, that feels good. And then I'm just going to read this to you. This is a visualization where you imagine a hurricane. And you might know that hurricanes, they're very stormy on the outside, but the center part is a part that is usually very still. And sometimes when you're in a hurricane, you have to be careful because you can be in the eye of the hurricane, the center of it, and it'll look very calm and you'll be like, oh, the hurricane's over. But you actually have to go back in your house and be safe because that's a very short window of time, and then you have to go through the other side to get out of the hurricane. So go ahead and make sure you're comfortable, and then I'll just read this to you. Imagine being in the middle of a stressful storm during exams. This meditation helps you to find calm in the midst of chaos. Think of it like moving to the center of a storm to observe without judgment. Find a quiet, comfortable place to sit with good posture and relaxation. Close your eyes gently if you feel comfortable doing that. And then just focus on your breath, going in and out. Breathe in slowly and deeply. Notice the breath moving through your nose, your throat, down to your stomach. Notice how it feels in your chest and your belly, and then breathe out. As you breathe out all the stress and the tension in your body. And then just do this gently, breathing in and out, kind of slowly, and notice how it feels. With each breath out, release your tension. Relax your face, relax your jaw, relax your shoulders, and make sure you're sitting very comfortably. Adjust yourself to feel less tension in your body. And try to stay in the present. You might have an anxious thought come about the upcoming test. Acknowledge it, but then return to your breath. Focus on your breathing. The breath helps to keep you focused on the present. Keep breathing deeply. Let the breath connect you to your inner calm. Visualize a storm. Your studies are a swirl, a storm around you, but the storm center is calm and it's a peaceful place. You can gently move to this center by focusing on your breath. While you're breathing, you might notice some thoughts and feelings and sensations. Don't judge them as good or bad, just notice them and then focus on your breath. The storm can change, but the calm center remains. Return to your breath. If your mind gets lost in worries, focus on your breath. It grounds you in the present. It brings you solace. Remember, storms can pass. As you breathe and find your center, remember that tough times are temporary. This challenging time will pass. take a few breaths. This is the end of the meditation. And when you're ready, go ahead and open your eyes. This is an example of an exercise that you can use to manage stress in medical school anytime you feel like it. And regular practice of these meditation techniques will help you to stay focused during your journey and help you to relax during a test.